Hey, what's up, you guys? It's the dude that kills anime and manga, back to bring to you anime and manga weekly topics, discussions, recommendations, and reviews weekly. This video, you can probably see by the title already, didn't come by me very easy. I didn't think it'd be a short time in my YouTube anime community career that I would do this video, because I've always thought, and it started sporadically when I was watching some videos a couple of days ago on my YouTube Watch Later playlist, and I was just watching all these, and I could never complete it. I just watch all these community videos, whether it's recommendations, reviews, these people saying this series is good, this series is bad, yada yada, and I never got my opinion out of what I think makes a good series. I'm asking you guys, what makes a classic? What makes that great series? And also, I'm about to tell you guys what I think you can account for it. And I think you should take it like this. Well, you can't exactly define a good series with one thing without having the other. And sometimes you think you could have all these other things, and you think you could have this narrow-minded thought of what makes good plot, good story, yada yada yada. But you really can't. It all matters upon how successful it is to the masses. Look at a series such as Hunter x Hunter. Right now, this series has an anime, it's very popping. People in YouTube anime community are liking it very much. And this is a story that I personally have been behind for a year and a half now, ever since I caught up to it. The mangaka for this story is Yoshihiro Togashi, and I've been enjoying his works before. He did Yu Yu Hakusho, and that's a classic. People will arguably say that's a classic. Hunter x Hunter being the success that it is incomparable to other multimedia anime and manga successes such as One Piece, such as Bleach, such as Naruto. Really, let's think about that. Now, even if I can see these mainstream names and some names I can compare it with, there are other types of anime and manga that have showed less of a story. They've showed type of actions, they showed type of adventures, and they've been very short to where they can click with audiences. Much out of time with Sword Art Online, we've seen shows such as Teppei Gurren Lagann, we've seen other things that could be short, some 24, 26, even Valvrave is catching on for a little while, but we don't know all these shows that could not have the stories of the big three and these other shows that I've said before, but they could be very successful in America. This just tells you that we can't easily define what people define as success as in a classic. You can get a classic as in Fooly Cooly. That was 6 episodes, but it was really made by Gainax, and a lot of revolutionary things was happening in that time. It made anime and manga more watchable, and when you take different aspects and you make it more entertaining for the fans to watch, it will be successful. I'm not only talking about series like Fooly Cooly, I always think of Medaka Box. Medaka Box is another part of it. It's a very successful take on what you can do differently with this type of product. You can't have the normal action shonen genre as we get from our Hunter x Hunters, our Bleaches, our Naruto, our One Pieces, our Torikos, etc, etc. It doesn't matter how many you could name. But I will say all these companies that are putting these products out, such as Kodansha, Young Animal, Weekly Shonen Jump, Weekly Shonen Magazine, all these magazines have their specific ways of putting out successful series. We have all these different type of animation studios. We have Madhouse, we have Gainax, we have Studio Pierrot, we have Nippon, anything. They have specifics and they have successful series. We know that Code Geass isn't the same as a One Piece, or we know that Code Geass isn't the same as Fooly Cooly, yet we compare them to such series as Death Note. We compare them to such series that are psychological, that make people think, and there's other series that people don't know so far, and we define these as great, as classics. Even a monster conglomerate juggernaut right now in an anime and the manga is Attack on Titan. And it's interesting to see because this show is getting people hyped. It's because it's a bridgeway to new anime and manga. So does that make it a classic? All these shows that I've used as an example are what people have said is what's hot, is what's popping, that they had enjoyed before. So we must seriously think about this, guys. The series can be classic, one, when it's defined by the masses, when the people are definitely getting into it, when they see it and they read it and it's one of their favorite things. It doesn't have to be the best written thing out there, it doesn't have to be the best story out there, but it does have to do what it was supposed to do, and it has to get people into the product. It's supposed to get people to watch that show, a loyal fan base, to be able to produce dollars, to be able to produce a fandom, to be able to produce a quality content, whatever you're looking for, your ecchis or whatever you're looking for your teasers, or whenever you're looking for your shonen action main protagonist fighting off against the same typical way that they always do. And it doesn't matter most of the time when it's your personal preference, because it is a decider of what the masses think. And the people who decide that Dragon Ball Z was very popular, they decided that Yu Yu Hakusho is a classic, they decided that all these shows, Trigun, Outlaw Star, were able to come to Toonami, because they decided that they wanted these shows to come here. So what makes a classic is simple. A classic is defined by us people and how it has lived long. Dragon Ball Z has ended over 10 to 15, 20 years ago. But now it's still relevant because of how people have made it and modernized it into a classic. Because it's that classic, it's because it's the series that everyone wants. It's because we can circle around that and we can just enjoy everything about the series. So overall, you gotta think of what type of fandom there is, and also you have to put in mind that people have different varieties and have different aims when they're watching different shows. So if you can't understand why certain shows are popular, you can't understand why these ecchi start fighting / action manga that have loose stories are popular, then you have to look at the masses who are finding them, because that's what they're finding attractive and that's what they find in entertainment at the time. What makes a series classic, like I said before, is defined by the fans. And you may not necessarily agree with it, and I don't necessarily agree with all the series that they have, but it has to be by you guys. And if it's not by you guys, then who's going to decide whether these series are classics? Who's going to decide when these series 10, 15, 20 years from now make DVD sales, make comebacks, get reanimated? You'll see that. You'll want to have that for your favorite series. So that's what makes a classic series right there. When life is being brought into it, in, before, currently, and after. Attack on Titan is being milked to the ground right now, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be turned into a classic series. We see Inuyasha is a very old series, but it's always played on Toonami. Cowboy Bebop definitely was very successful in Western America. These series are defined by the people and the masses that they choose it. And for any of you guys to say that it's not a classic, you have to give it precious rest on that one. So that's my opinion on that. Yo, it's been the door that kills anime and manga. Like or dislike this video, it does not matter. You've had all the quality content with none of the filler. And if you don't know what that is, you need to watch more anime. Put your comments down below on what you think about this topic, and give me a recommendation on what you want me to speak upon next week. You know, I'm thinking, and I'll leave something right there, or right there, or right there, right there. Not sure where I'm gonna put this information at the end of the video. I'll do another weekly topic discussion, and it's gonna be about the shonen magazines. Not the shonen, but weekly magazines. So I can talk about Dark Horse Comics. In America, they do a lot of anime and manga translations of titles. I'll do Kodansha Comics. I'll do Young Animal Comics. I'll do Weekly Shonen Magazine. I'll do Weekly Shonen Jump. So if you're interested about that and how I compare how all these magazines do things similar and differently, then go see that video next week. Alright guys, peace.